Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media, and that's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. I am Mode Poupée, your resident Fabricant and commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend LADI. LADI, what's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Just ready to talk about some of this news. Some of the headliners are funny, but but yeah, we can go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, we got a good little slate of news this week. It's moving and shaking in the superhero sphere. Uh, so, for instance, we're going to talk about the DCE, the gun DCU. Is that a thing, the gun DCU, and how we haven't really heard about the first chapter, not really all of it. Uh, James Gunn also uh, tries to shut down some kind of stupid hashtag that the Snyder Bros are talking about. The first social media reaction to Shazam 2 are out. A couple big Daredevil news items about the return of one character and two other characters that are not returning for Daredevil Born Again. Uh, we're also talking about how Hulu may be up for sale, and the price, part of the price for that, could be uh, to the MCU's benefit. And finally, we're going to review the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new animated movie trailer. So, all of that. Lottie, you ready to get into it?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. So, James Gunn, I love that he's on Twitter. I do wonder sometimes, like, should you be working? you ever see you ever see somebody that's just like, they're just on Twitter and you're like, it is 9:30 and I know you work. So what do you do? What are you doing? But anyway, um, he was on Twitter and basically, or responding to some stuff on Twitter, and that is talking about the DCU's chapter one, which we remember we did the thing about the slate and everything, and he announced 10 things. Now, if someone announces 10 things, like if Marvel said, "Here's the next 10 things we're doing," right? We'll be like, "Well, we don't need to hear anything else about anything new for like another 2 years, right?" But nope, James Gunn was like, "Oh, that's less. What we said, that's less than half of the first chapter of the DC universe." And now nerds everywhere, or we're racking our brains saying, "What could be next?" First of all, you said 10 things. There's more. Like this first chapter, the first phase of the MCU didn't even have 10 things in it. So what for me, I want to let my imagination run wild. But on the other hand, like, I really want to focus on these first 10 things. That's a lot already. But Lottie, first of all, are you surprised that chapter one isn't just those first 10 items, but instead that's only halfway through there?
Uh, Part of me thinks she's capping. Part of me thinks she's capping. And I mean, and I say this in the sense of that I'm not saying what he said is not right, true. What I'm saying is that he might be like chapter one might be longer, but I have a feeling that by him saying that chapter one is actually a lot longer. Like the chapter is a lot longer than what people think. Like you know how most Marvel they might think phase one is usually like a phase is usually like a year, maybe a year and a half. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking the first phase of this DC thing is going to be a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the first phase of Marvel. Like
Right.
phase one of Marvel was 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking it's the same thing. Like I don't think people are thinking, oh, are we about to get a bunch of shows back to back? Nah. we're probably about to get maybe just like Marvel, but it's just going to be the phase is just going to be a lot longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he was saying that chapter 1 and 2 of the DC universe are gonna span 8 to 10 years. So you may be right on, like 4 to 5 years per chapter.
Yeah.
Which then makes sense because of these these first 10 things are literally something that will take something to the tune of 2.5 to 3 years to make. To get out. Not to they're announcing it now, but to actually get them out, in the next 2 years, basically. Um, so it makes sense to me. It's just, I guess I didn't think they were going to be so ambitious with that the first chapter, But I'll take it if they're going to swing for it. But it
I
also,
mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
apologize. I mean, they kind of have to do it. I mean, you if you want a Justice League movie, you have to have a movie that establishes Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The
Well,
Flash. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like you have to establish because it's like because really like let's really think about it. Let's go back and really think about the first Avengers movie. Like there was a lot of movies that came out in that time. You know what I mean? Like
right.
they introduced Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Hawk. Hawkeye. He was introduced in Thor, and Black Widow was introduced in Iron Man. Crap too, but they had to introduce you know what I mean. There was quite a few movies that had to come out in that time, so it makes sense that it's going to take a while for this for them to have everything for them to have everything established before they even come out with the movie
Well, that's
and
interesting.
to finish the phase.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that because I'm reading really that maybe this DC universe, we're not coming into it at the start of the heroic age, but instead maybe we're coming into it well into the existence of superheroes. Like they are part, kind of like, not this, how in the Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad movies, there's already superheroes and stuff like that. So much so that now there's not just superheroes, there's supervillains that have to go to a certain prison. So they kind of
Hmm.
assume that the DC universe exists and already. And I think maybe that's the direction they're going to go here. Which cool. I'm with it. It makes me want to speculate about what the second half of the first chapter is, but can I be honest? There's so many fucking things to look at in DC that it could be anything. Like, and especially because James Gunn is, the creative, voice behind the DC universe now. That means that almost literally anything is on the table. Not just the big names, but like small names like we know, but we don't really know. So
Hmm.
I'm almost like at a loss as to you could throw anything. I know you said Freakazoid, but I'm just like maybe. He's part of Warner Brothers. Could be.
don't
I mean,
don't play with me.
so
Don't play with me.
I think cool. That's what I just say about this news story. Cool. But really, give me that first Superman though. That's what I want. So, but we'll let you guys know when, if, whatever, we hear some more about the chapter 1. But before we move on to the next thing, Lottie, we have got to figure out what do we call the DC universe now. It's not the
The
DC
gun
EU anymore.
CEO.
Oh, the gun cinematic universe.
The,
We got to throw DC in there somewhere. We've got to figure out a name for the James
the
Gunn.
gun you. The gun you.
Yeah, because the other the Snyderverse people got Snyderverse, but we can't call it the Gunniverse. That sounds stupid. But let's figure this out though. Let's brainstorm and come up with a good name. Anyway, moving on to the second item. Still related to James Gunn. This is also, like I said, we can't go a few weeks without talking about the Snyder Bros. And I guess James Gunn, for whatever reason, engaged with somebody on Twitter talking about selling Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix, which is dumb, right? Like, can we agree that it's a stupid ass idea?
Yeah.
That's like being mad that Marvel isn't going to continue the Netflix Marvel shows and saying, sell that to Paramount. Why would? In what world would Disney ever let that shit happen? Same way here. Why would WB Discovery want anyone else except themselves to make those things? Like, it's nonsensical. Well, I'm sorry, not nonsensical, because they are definitely developing things that are going to go elsewhere, but they ain't DC anythings, right? But
Yeah.
this is just the thing they're saying, because of course they are. Well, James Gunn got on and I was like, hey, Netflix hasn't even said they want this. Why would they? We can't do anything if no one's even asking. We're talking to Netflix about doing projects, but they haven't even, asked about this shit that y'all are talking about. He said it called it the wackiest hashtag ever. LADI, I know this. I know the answer to this question. I'm gonna ask it anyway. Has James Gunn put this to rest?
Don't you dare. No. James Gunn, you're finding out the hard way. The Snyder stands, they will not be stopped. They will keep coming and coming and coming and coming until you finally give in to their demands.
And there came until there came a day when all of Earth's heroes came together. He's gonna have to get all of the people that are in the Snyderverse to be like, "Shut up, bitches! This isn't real."
Snyder stands are so like out there by themselves. And even like people who are like trolls are saying, "Stop it, guys!" Like, like trolls are saying this, and I'm like, God, the Snyder stands, they can't get a break. Like, it's very like. And here's the thing: if you like the Snyderverse, I'm not picking on you that you shouldn't. That, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
not the type of
yeah,
person that's like, oh, you shouldn't like. Oh, no one. You know what I mean? We're not saying don't. Oh, no one should watch the Snyderverse. We're not saying that. What I'm saying is, guys, come on now. Stop bullying people into like it's
what?
over.
Yeah,
Let it go.
yeah.
Let it go.
James Gunn also said like Zack Snyder doesn't seem interested in this at all. They're 10 miles down the road and haven't even started the car. Literally, Netflix doesn't care about this shit. Zack Snyder doesn't care about this shit. But they're like, oh, we're definitely if they would just sell this to Netflix, we're definitely get the Snyder. No, motherfucker. They don't care about it. Like,
Yeah.
the only people that care about it is y'all. And unless y'all want to, crowdfund some bullshit, fan stuff, it's not happening. Like, just stop. Anyway, I just wanted to be like, look, even James Gunn is just like, bitches, stop. But he was much nicer about it than I am. So, Snyder stands, cut this shit out, man. Just go. I don't even want to say touch grass. I'm just saying, like, go find something else to attach to. I'm sure there's literally any other fandom that would welcome you, except, like, don't be a dick. So anyway, moving on. Lottie, I'm saying this with a bit of a sigh of relief, but also some cautious optimism is the better thing. First, social media reactions to Shazam 2 have started to hit the internet. So that's coming out next week. So they didn't lift the embargo or whatever on the regular reviews, but the social media ones are usually about a week out. Like, I guess to build up buzz. And so far they sound, pretty positive actually. They're not going like best movie ever. They're not like this is a game changer. You'll never look at Shazam the same way again. Billy Batson is the best thing that's ever happened to DC. They're not saying that. But they are saying, "Hey, this is fun. It's taking the energy from the first one and it's dialing it up, and there's some cool stuff that's happening in it." I think I only heard one like sort of negative review of it. That's about it. I mean, you guys can read through and everything, but generally speaking, it seems pretty positive. So I know we were talking about the projections were kind of low, and we just had, let's just call it what it is, a disappointing outing for Marvel with Quantumania. And, this was looking like it was heading in the same direction. Does this give you maybe some confidence that DC may have an actual, let's not call it a hit, an actual good movie that may do pretty decent at the box office? What do you think, Lottie?
I have no confidence that this movie will do well in the box office. And here's the reason why. The movie might do well, but here's the problem. And I've already talked to multiple people. They're all telling me they're not watching it because it's not going to matter in the new DC universe. And I was like, well,
maybe.
But here's the thing. They know that the Flash basically rewrites the time. The actor might stay, but that version, that Shazam is no longer going to exist. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are not going to watch this movie because of the simple fact they know that it's not going to matter.
That's
very
sad.
Unfortunate.
That's
very
sad.
Unfortunate.
Like, what the heck? You know what? I love Marvel. I'm a big Marvel fan. I love the MCU and everything. But my God, is that one of the worst? That's one of the worst legacies that Kevin Feige has left to movie going, or to fans of genre stuff. Is this desire to have everything be connected, or else who cares? Right?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just watching something to be entertained? That shit is crazy. I didn't go watch Morbius thinking, "Ooh, this shit had better tie into Venom or else." I didn't watch No Way Home thinking like, if this doesn't fucking reference the Avengers 17 times, it's fuck this shit. I never thought that. I just want the movies to be good. And if this is a movie that never connects to anything else in the DC universe, but it's good, I won. Like, it's I don't even want to say it's infuriating. It is just sad that people can't just go. When people went and saw Blade the first time, they weren't worried about whether or not that shit connected to anything. Hell, when they saw Blade 3, they weren't thinking, is the Blade cinematic universe going to be okay? No. Just go see a movie. Just go see the movie. My friend.
It's unfortunate, man. Times were different at that time, man. It was just different. It was a different time then.
It's unfortunate, but I think there are some indications that, like I said, it's not going to blow our socks off, and in the way like maybe for me at least, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever did. But it sounds good. I mean, they say it's not a game. One of the ones says it's not a game-changing comic book movie, but it wins you over with its characters and energy. Okay, cool. Hey, it sounds good to me. It's other ones are a lot more enthusiastic. James Gunn even kind of chimed in, and said that he said, "I love it. It's a complete blast. That everyone on the crew killed it." So, I mean, yes, that could be CEO speak, but like, I mean, would he really be like, saying too much about it if he didn't like it? I mean, I don't think so. But you're right. Like, that makes me sad though. Like, there's no reason this shouldn't work or shouldn't do well, but this people just want it. to matter to the DC universe, and it's just gonna throw people off. So that sucks.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate. That's why I was like, even if the movie's good, it's not going to. It's not going to sell well, man. Unfortunately.
I think here's my thing. I don't even think being good is good enough. I literally think that in order for this thing to really do what it's supposed, like what they really want it to do, it would
Has to
have
be
to
one of
be.
the best
It have
movies.
to be excellent. It would. That's
Yeah,
like yeah, exact. Not good. Not cool. Not even great, but excellent.
yeah,
Just
it have to be one of the best movies they've ever made.
yeah.
Yeah, type. And
And this
that's unfortunate.
yeah, and it's also this is a consequence again of the pandemic. We keep going back to that, but truthfully, I used to go to the movies like 2-3 times a week, and now if I can get there once a week or two 3 times a month maybe, and I'm a big movie goer. People that go a few times a year, are they going to waste their time on something that in their mind doesn't matter or that they can wait for streaming? Like it's not good enough to be good, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
but we'll see. It's coming out next week. We're gonna view it and review it and let you guys know more about it when that all goes down. Well, it's time to talk about the MCU properly. And Daredevil Born Again's coming up. I think it's next year. I do believe next year is when, but they're filming or they're starting to film soon. I think it's going to be something like an 18 episode series, so it's going to be unlike any other Disney Plus Marvel thing yet. It's going to be a proper TV show, thankfully. And we got Charlie Cox coming back, Vincent D'Onofrio coming back. But you know who's not coming back? LADI. You know who's not coming back in Daredevil? Is we're not getting the actors that played Foggy and Karen. So two main characters, right? Foggy Nelson, Karen Page. They are not going to be. They are not part of the production, at least of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. That sucks to me. I must say, and I did not, I only watched the first season of that show, but I liked both of them, and they were very interesting and very important to the story, and I think that sucks. Like, I really want to know the reasoning here. Maybe I'm sure when we watch the show it'll make sense why they're not in it, but this is literally like, Foggy's is Matt's right hand man. Really, that's his homeboy, and Karen. They had a little thing going. So in what way don't they figure into this show unless they're dead? I mean, LADI, help me out here. This doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, no one
I don't
knows.
know. I don't know what to say.
I'm just, I don't want to say talk me off the ledge. I'm not on the ledge for this. It's just strange to me because they were such a big part of the show. So they're literally just going to be like, well, he's Matt's single and he went to LA and had an affair with Jennifer Walters. Now he's back, and I guess Wilson Fisk is back, and that's it.
Don't say it like that.
I mean, it's true, and also this may not necessarily be the exact same Daredevil as you saw before. It's maybe slightly different.
So don't say this, man. You're hurting me a little bit.
Look at it. I mean, look, he did that walk of shame, and he can't show his face at Nelson and Murdoch anymore. He's just like, nope. But just no. But I can't show my face to Wilson Fisk because reasons.
I'm actually confused. It's like you said, like why aren't they in this? I don't know. Wow.
It can't be because they can't afford them. Because last thing I saw Deborah Ann Woll in was literally Quantum Leap for one guest star episode, you know, in last fall. So I don't know what. I'm sure they don't have anything to do. But I don't know. I guess if we find out more about that, we'll check back. But let's let's turn this frown upside down, uh, because somebody is coming back. That's John Bernthal. He's coming back to to be the big Punisher. Punisher was a well received Netflix series, which I have not watched. So I know terrible, but I haven't watched it. But it was very well received, and he started off in the Marvel Netflix on Daredevil. So he's coming back to reprise that role on Daredevil Born Again, and this makes all the sense in the world to me. Like it makes all the sense. Daredevil and Punisher, they cross paths, not often, but pretty, in a pretty decent amount because they both target the same bad guys, organized crime. They're constantly at them. Wilson Fisk, the biggest, he's literally the kingpin, and they join forces at times. Sometimes they're at odds, but this makes all the sense in the world for two reasons. The one of which I just said, which was that they cross over a lot. Well, three reasons. Two, there's no superpowers involved. It's just guns, right? So they don't need special effects from him. Three, Kevin Feige, I feel like he's like a Pokemon trainer. Like he's got to catch them all of the actors that get awards not recognition, all of the actors that are in prestige movies, all of the actors who are considered to be great at acting, not just being in genre stuff, but great at any kind of character acting. So he throws his little Pokeball out there, and scoops him up, and now he's just Punisher. I choose you, and he just threw him right into the middle of Daredevil. I hope that analogy made sense, made some fucking sense. And now I'm just seeing Kevin Feige with Pokeballs with all these different actors just in his belt, and he's got the little hash hat on and the vest on. Somebody, I wish I could Photoshop. I would make that happen. So anyway, LADI, Daredevil's coming to Punisher's coming to Daredevil. What do you think?
About damn time.
Yeah.
I'm saying about damn time for the whole entire thing. It's about time that we finally got to see some more like I've been waiting for this Daredevil show for a while now, and I'm happy that Punisher's going to be in it. I'm happy that they're adding these characters back into the story because it seemed like for a while that it didn't seem like we were going to get any of this stuff, but it seems like now we're going to start getting them. So I wonder, what do you think the rating of the show is going to be?
Woo. I want to say PG-13. A very, very hard PG-13. Well, I guess it's TV, so technically it would be what? Not TV MA. No, it wouldn't be MA. It would be TV 17. Maybe something like that. But the equivalent to PG-13, but on the very extreme end.
14, like 14
yeah,
with
TV 14
double
maybe.
Vs.
Yeah,
with double Vs.
But essentially, what they'd have to do is, keep the blood splatter to a bare ass minimum, like super minimum. Make sure there ain't no sexy time going on. Really, not really. But otherwise, they can show people getting shot up and maimed and blown up. All because that's fine for kids, right? Or to watch all that shit.
It just went. But what happened to we were talking about this about 2 years ago or a year ago? What happened to Marvel Disney creating their like adult version of where like the adult stuff will be on.
Oh, you're asking too many questions. They did what they did instead of doing an adult section, they just age restricted certain content, and so the way you can get onto it and or see it is by being on an account that's not age restricted. That's basically it. So it's I mean, I really would prefer that they would just do R-rated content, but it's Disney. But the other thing is I don't understand why they would have a problem with it because it's Disney Plus. Like nobody's look, let's be honest. Their audience on Disney Plus is small. And I don't mean small in a bad way. I mean small relative to the movies. You know,
Yeah.
way more like even if Quantumania is, kind of ends up being a flop, even if it does, there's still more people that have seen that movie than watched WandaVision or Miss Marvel or insert Disney Plus Marvel show. More, in fact, I would gather that the number of people that have watched all of the Disney Plus shows, if you added all of the views up, it's probably still less than the number of people who went out and watched Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, or Quantumania, or any of those. So, do they really need to be super worried about alienating the audience on Disney Plus?
Yeah, because like you said, they lost quite a bit of subscribers. At this point, like maybe this is a way to gain subscribers back by allowing your content to be more on the darker and edgy side. Because honestly, it's just how are you alienating your audience? Like that doesn't make sense to me at all. Like it's like saying Sony's alienating their audience by making God of War rated M. That doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense at all. Just you know what I mean? You could either age restrict it or just put everybody. There's an adult Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a kids Netflix. You can do that. Disney is it's not that difficult.
Yeah. And I honestly, I didn't know I didn't know little Susie and little, Jack or whatever. I know Daredevil was their shit or Punisher. Who are they? Are those kids sitting up there trying to dress up like them? Because I don't think I've ever seen a kid cosplay as any of those or dress up as either of those. So it'll be okay. Like if they go mature, it should be fine. I just don't know if they want to because the CEO isn't really big on R-rated stuff. So, but we'll see. We'll let you guys know more about it. I'm sure we're going to be getting pictures and everything really soon because they are filming. They're starting to film soon. Let's continue to talk about Disney. This is some shit that I don't understand why this is real. This could be real, but it came from, reputable sources. So, Disney owns, they have a majority stake. They don't own it outright, but they have a majority stake in Hulu, thanks to having acquired Fox and bought out some other smaller right. So they own 2/3 of Hulu right now. Comcast Universal owns 1/3 of it. And so, if you never use Hulu, you won't know this, but there's a lot of Disney stuff on there. Disney related stuff that isn't necessarily the House of Mouse, but is definitely Disney or ABC or whatever. And including some legacy, Marvel TV stuff, is on there. And there's also some stuff from like NBC Universal. Not as much because they have Peacock now, but still there is. And so, Disney, they're not broke or anything, but they're looking to sort of spin off maybe less profitable or more money sink sort of deals, and streaming services are money sinks. So the idea here, at least from some industry analysts, is that maybe they are trying to sell their majority stake in Hulu over to NBC Universal. And so, why does anyone care about this? Because I saw an article that said that part of the sale price could be the full return of the rights to Namor and Hulk to Disney. So all this whole distribute. Remember we were talking about the distribution thing and why they're not making a Hulk movie. That would go
Mm-hmm.
away as a part, as payment for Hulu. Which, by the way they did the article thing, it made it sound like they're like, here, give us the full license to Namor and Hulk, and you can have Hulu. So that's why they framed it, and that's not the way it is. But still, Lottie, what do you think about this?
Disney will be absolutely retarded if they do this. Don't. Disney, don't. Don't be stupid. Don't. Hulu is one of your most. Yeah, I know you don't. They don't own it outright, but it's one of their most important and profitable stuff. It's Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I've been talking about with one of the problems that Hulu and I mean Disney and Netflix has a problem with their streaming service. Sports. They don't have sports.
Mm.
It's Paramount Plus and Paramount Plus, Fox, and
Amazon Prime does sports.
and Amazon Prime. They have sports. You need that is one of the things that help you still keep money. And Hulu is their way into the sports market. If you sell that, if you sell Hulu, you're killing that market. Do not. Hulk,
Well,
it was not. It's not worth it.
yeah,
It's
and I was going
not
to say, remember they also own ESPN, so
exactly.
yeah, yeah. They, I mean,
But
like I said, they characterize this. The headline is that as if that would be the cost for Hulu. That's not really what's going on. It's more like it would be part of a package that it would include. It would be money, but also they want those rights. Um, and in that context, if it's part of the sale price, I mean, it's not a bad. That wouldn't be a bad, I guess,
no,
outcome if it's just part of the sale. But on the other hand, I'm also of the opinion that, like, what do they really get out? If they get Hulk and Namor, what are they really getting? Because they already are doing Hulk stuff. Their ability to distribute a Hulk movie. That's pretty much it. Who's asking for a Namor movie? And even if they were,
exactly.
are they going to get it anytime in the next 5 years? Like, there's too much. They're already pulling back on what they're doing with the MCU anyway. Add these two characters on, you're not going to get a movie for them in the next 5 years any damn way. No one's clamoring for a Hulk movie for whatever. I mean, you can give me any reason why no one wants one. There's good story reasons why no one's really asking for it, and there's just like there's just too much going on right now. I think if I were running the show, I would not do that because you're already okay. It's already fine for you to use those characters in other things as long as they're not the star of the movie. And in my opinion, this isn't the time to be bothering with those characters in that sense. But if you are intent on selling Hulu anyway, it doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Hmm.
It wouldn't hurt to ask for that at all. Um, but gosh, I mean, anyone who really thinks that I think that the analyst thinks it's possible, and so I'll go with at least I'll tentatively think that it's on the table. So
Don't s-
that fair?
don't sell Hulu whatsoever. That'll
But
be
you have to understand something. Well, this is something I can really speak to. Streaming services lose money. Every single one. There's not a profitable streaming service in existence. Not one. Every one of them. Well, I'm sorry. Well, there is one. It was Discovery Plus because it's almost all reality shows. So none of them make money. They just all they're loss leaders, if you will. And so they have two right now. They have Disney Plus, which is their focus, and they have Hulu, which is really kind of the catch-all for Fox stuff and whatever doesn't quite fit on Disney Plus. If they get rid of this, they get money. And also they can eventually bring all of their content back to Disney Plus proper to turn that into a real streaming service that is a rival to Netflix and not just a repository for old Disney stuff and like new Disney animated stuff or whatever, Marvel, Star Wars, but for all of their content. So I honestly I understand the drive to sell Hulu. I just don't know that Hulk and Namor being part of it is that important. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll talk about it more if and when we find out more information. And so to finish off this supercast, we're going to talk about Heroes in a Half Shell, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. As a background, I grew up watching, like, I literally watched them in their first run as a cartoon. I did not read the original comics, because, I didn't have no damn money for comic books when I was a little kid. But I surely watched the Ninja Turtles cartoon. I had the action figures, I had the fucking van, all that stuff. Loved that show. Now, in retrospect, it's not great. It's not a great show. Right, in retrospect, not a great show, but in the intervening, near something like 30 years, they've gone on to be, various animated renditions. There's been a live action, the live action movies in the 90s, which were okay to terrible. There was the CG animated one that Michael Bay did. There's video games. The notoriously horribly difficult Ninja Turtles, the first Ninja Turtles, all this stuff. Everyone loves the Ninja Turtle. It is literally a property that no matter how many times they redo it, people are still like, yeah, I'll go see that. When are I'll go watch some turtles eat pizza and like twirl ninja stars. Cool. So to that end, we are getting an animated Ninja Turtles movie, and we got the first kind of teaser trailer that came out a day or two ago. So LADI, you have fresh eyes on this. First of all, are you a Ninja Turtles fan? And before we get into kind of talking about the trailer,
I'll say I am a what's the word I'm trying? It's like a dead Ninja Turtles fan.
What?
I was a fan when I was a kid. Now I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't really appeal to me anymore. I don't know. It's a cool thing. Like, I recognize it. I might see it on streaming, but it's just not there for me anymore, man. Right. It was the original, then the one that they brought back, the 2003 one. But since then, I have not had a dog in the Ninja Turtles fight since. You know what I mean? The Michael Bay movie, the first one, it was pretty decent. I would not have went to theaters to see it, and then I definitely didn't see the second one.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the second one either. But
it's just one of those. It's one of those things that is just like it's not there for me anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, with that ringing endorsement, what did you think about this trailer?
I'm happy that it exists,
or as I want to call it, TMNT into the Turtleverse.
Yeah, because it's just everybody is just using the Miles Morales animated. Everybody's copying. I've seen multiple movies using this animation style, and I'm happy that this exists, especially for younger viewers that could get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Me, I just don't have a dog in this fight anymore. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just they look like really teeny now because they're like it seems like every Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle iteration I watch, it seems like they make them younger and younger. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's pretty soon. It's gonna be Ninja Turtle babies.
Yeah, like it because the Ninja Turtles I remember watching, they were probably like 18 and 19 years
Yeah.
old. Same thing with the 2020 version, but it seems like now the animated stuff seems like they're just like
These kids,
13,
yeah,
you know.
these kids, these Ninja Turtles, they seem like they, you know, they just started high school. Maybe they're definitely in the D&D club, and they're, they most definitely are part of the science club. Like they're no one. They sound like they can't kick ass.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, they don't sound like
Yeah,
they kick ass.
yeah, it doesn't to get me to come back to the series. This wasn't it. I mean, like I said, if this is what makes the younger audience want to watch it, fine. But me, I'm used to them being badass. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not inept. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of just,
I I think I'm pretty cool with the kind of the younger take on it. Just because I think this is going to be more comedic, than
hmm
serious. And it's too they're too young to be like the kind of weird, kind of out there versions of them that we get in like the Michael Bay one or whatever. We don't, and it's not going to be grimdark. This is for Nickelodeon by Nickelodeon Films, so you know where they're going with it. But that said, I mean, I think it looks cute. It looks like it might be fun. Like I'm I'm going to go see it. Somehow I'm going to have to trick my wife into going with me because I know this is not up her alley at all. But I mean, I'm with it, and Splinter's being played by Jackie Chan, so I mean, there's a bunch of celebrity voices in this that might make it interesting. We get Bebop and Rocksteady. I mean, come on. I mean, look, if they put Krang in this, it might be a top 10. It might might sneak it if they get him and put him in the belly of that little robot. I might be down with this completely, but I think it looks fine. Like, fine. So I think it looks good. It might be fine. So we'll see. But before we finish talking about it, let's talk about, as usual. Not we can't just have things come out without someone deciding that they're mad about it. So, Lottie, would it surprise you to know that they're mad about April O'Neil being black? Not just black, but also not in her yellow jumpsuit, red haired, and I guess whatever other stereotypical things. She doesn't have a camera either that's mounted on her shoulder. So, but they're mad about her being black. Big fucking surprise, nerds, y'all. You once again, proving nerds are diverse too, and some of the diversity is being stupid assholes. Lottie, what say you?
I can, I can sort of understand why they'll be upset. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not. I don't really care because maybe because into their mind they're like, well, they could have made it a different character or whatever. But me, in
Well,
my
I mean,
opinion, like I
they've
said,
literally made April black before, so it's not like this is a. I don't remember the big outcry then, because now all of a sudden all these people who really, really, really care, they in the last 24 to 48 hours they suddenly really care about the Ninja Turtles so much that April's race is a huge deal that they've got to make a big post about on the internet. It's
yeah.
so
Like I said, me, I whatever. If they, I, it's nothing to. lose your mind over. I mean, this is clearly not the Ninja. Here's the thing that some people have to understand. This People are like, "Oh, this is not the Ninja Turtles I grew up with." It clearly is not, guys. It's clearly not. Like,
Yes.
just if you want to watch the old Ninja Turtles, go and watch it. You know what I
I'd
mean?
advise you don't do that. So, I would just say, for your own good memories of that show, don't do it. Just remember it the way you remembered it. I've yet to have a good experience of saying, "Oh man, that show was so great when I was a kid," and before I was that 10, you know, and going
Yeah,
back and watching it and being like, "Ooh, why?"
yeah.
So anyway, guys, April being black, it's okay. It's you know what? She's animated, and it's happened before, and also, she doesn't want to fuck you either. So like, just chill. She doesn't have to look like that redhead you got all excited about when you were 8. Chill. Just saying. So anyway, we'll check that out. Well, I'll check it out, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Lottie is going to watch from the sidelines, so we'll let you know more about it when we get to see it. Anyway, that's all of our news for this week. But maybe we missed something. Maybe we had some weird ideas about it that you didn't agree with, or you just want to say and chime in on your thoughts. Whatever the case may be, get down to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do us a favor, hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Helps with the channel, helps us to grow, and helps more people to see these videos. And of course, I can't do this by myself. Otherwise, I'd just be talking about how the Ninja Turtles are the best thing ever. Instead of having Lottie's good and rational thoughts about Ninja Turtles. So, Lottie, where can they reach you on social media?
You can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It's ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. And of course, you can also find me on my YouTube channel, which is Kinihun25. Finally got a copy of Metroid Prime Remaster. No thanks to Nintendo, but finally got a copy, so I'll be able to stream it very soon. You guys are going to actually see what a true Metroid master looks like playing the game instead of all these people who pretend that they're good at video games on YouTube. You're going to see what it means to be good at Metroid Prime. Stay tuned. As soon as I get it, I'm streaming it.
Well, you guys go check it out. I heard shots fired just a second ago. I didn't hear any names attached to it, but you know who you are if you're not good enough. You guys go check out Lottie's social media. Show them some love. All right, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, thanks for joining us. This was the 92nd episode of the Supercast. Come back next week. We got plenty more to talk about, man. Like, for real, though. So until then, I've been Mode Poupée, resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.